can't trust the general public. They're stupid.
But you were inside for 14 months.
Yeah, I was inside for 14 months.
What for?
Getting caught.
Do I have to assault one of them physically?
Once you start sharpening and shanking and going down that route of threatening people, then you're in.
If you're the daddy, you got to act the daddy every fucking day.
If music doesn't feel like it comes from some kind of desperation, I don't really fucking feel it.
But where do you stand on puberty blockers?
You're mad.
But it's true, right?
Let's start the pod, Tony.
Welcome to Bad Boys Done Good. We got an incredible guest today. We're delighted to have the one, the only. It's Dirty Dyke, hip-hop rap singer, fantastic talent. And he's a real bad boy done good. He's working class guy, came from nothing, built himself up, made a career, did some time in the can, made rap music. And here he is.
Welcome, Dirty Dyke.
He's a happy guy. He's upbeat.
Is that a good sign?
I think so.
I find my own name funny.
Yeah, it's not a very progressive name, Dirty Dike. Have you ever considered updating it maybe Dirty Queer?
It depends on your standpoint, doesn't it?
Where does it come from?
I was 10. I didn't know what it meant or what it could have meant or whatever. And I just like the shape of the letters, so I started writing. I was called Dyke way before rap or Dirty Dyke.
From the age of 10?
About 10, 11, I started painting stuff and tagging things.
With Dyke?
Yeah, the word Dyke.
And when did the dirty turn up?
My friend who does all my album covers, Tom Sawn, his name is. He's someone I grew up with. And when I started making some songs, he kind of had this vision of a package and he gave it a logo and a name and an album cover, so to speak. And he was like, "That's your shit," and I just went, "Oh, that's my shit." And he always called me Dirty Dyke because people, I was a bit of a grubby little fucker.
Right.
Dirty.
As in you didn't wash or you had sort of sordid ways or...
I was just one of them jumble sale kids.
Oh, lovely.
You know, like everything second-hand, hand-me-down, sort of.
Right.
I was the poor kid in a very rich city. I grew up in Cambridge, but I grew up in a council house, so
right.
The class divide's pretty extreme. Something like that.
Shall we call you James or Dyke?
Call me James.
James, right. Okay.
Yeah. All right. James, welcome.
Welcome. That's nicer, isn't it?
Yeah, it's personable. I don't know if you know the pod. This is a mental health podcast we like to hear about extreme pain, trauma, and then monetize it to our YouTube incels.
I'm all for it. I've been turning my mental health issues into money for years.
When did you start making music?
When I was in prison. Well, say prison, Young Offenders Institute. I was bored and I started writing a lot. I started writing a lot because that's the only way to communicate with the outside world, and that opened something which made me want to do this even if I had no one to write to. So I was writing to myself, I guess. I had no intention of showing this shit to anyone. I just wrote it and kept it, and then I would post it to this one guy, Mr. Key, who rapped, and be like, "What's that like?" You know, and he's like, "It's very hard to tell because I'm reading it." Before that, I was a jungle drum and bass DJ, but there's no decks in prison.
So let's talk about hip-hop, right? Would you say the rappers are held to a kind of lower standard? Because if Chris Martin from Coldplay did a song talking about fucking abroad, selling heroin, punching a motherfucker in the face, he'd be condemned, but a rapper that's okay.
I think it would be okay if Whitney Houston did that for her next single.
She's passed away.
For example.
That would be some comeback.
I'm talking like metaphorically, genre-based. Like, I don't know, like anyone could. What I'm trying to say is, I don't think it's any more or less okay regardless of the genre. In fact, I think it's kind of more interesting, like, when someone from hip-hop isn't as full of bravado and shows a bit of vulnerability and all the rest of it. And I know that's weird coming from me because that's not what I do. Although sometimes I do. If you listen to the albums, that does exist.
I've heard a lot of introspective songs.
Exactly. But that's often overlooked because the bravado thing, people would rather focus on that sort of shit. But I like it when someone does something completely unorthodox and out of the box in a you know, you hear some crazy shit in a love ballad. Like,
Absolutely.
I think it's all right. But why the general public have an issue with it, I don't know. You can't trust the general public. They're stupid. Like, it's just not.
Is there a stigma in mainstream success if you are a rapper? Is crossing over into success seen as a sign of failure within the circle?
I think it used to be, and now it's not so much. And I think that's a bit of a shame, actually. I quite liked it when rap was borderline illegal and actually had a bit of edge, and it wasn't actually appealing to your average teenager from Ipswich. I liked it when it used to be a weird thing that people did or were into.
Right, and it strikes me as you have to hold your nerve if you want to stay underground, if you want to stay legitimate, or legit, as you call it. You have to hold your nerve and not get glossier, not be seduced by those bigger prizes. Is that fair to say, James?
Yeah, to a certain extent. I think if you are really fucking good at what you do and people are interested, you do come to a crossroads where you pick or choose. Am I going to be selling out Wembley and then everything I do after that is going to look stupid? Or am I going to sell out Jazz Cafe for the rest of my life?
It's hard to keep it real when you are playing an arena and you've got a driver. Is it possible to be real while having those tracks?
What is real? Come on.
What is real?
I actually hate this phrase, keep it real.
What does it mean?
Exactly.
That's what they have to do, keep it real.
Your real is not my real, so maybe
I think you're a very authentic, credible guy.
I think
because what you see is what you get.
That to me is as real as you could. Maybe the essence of just fuck it, like
Not pretentious.
I'm not. Yeah, avoid pretense where you can. Maybe I don't know, man. I think it's just some people have no choice though. Pretentious is their real, and you are just inherently a pretentious wanker, and there's nothing you can do about it, and you can't even see it. But like. It's, you know what I mean? That's their real. You were born into that shit.
That's very generous of you, James. Is spotting a fake? I mean, in your game of all games, it seems to be that credibility is important. So if you spot another rapper and you go, well, you went to a private school, you know that, does that undermine it?
A Nepo rapper.
In an underground scene of anything, I think your background doesn't really matter. So I think there are people who come from extreme privilege who really struggle with their identity in a rap world. So they try and maybe do a thing that makes them look like they're a bit more fucked up than they really need to be. If music doesn't feel like it come from some kind of desperation, I don't really...
What's the point?
Fucking feel it. It
That's
either
the
makes
point.
you want to fight or fuck. And if it doesn't do those two things, it's normally shit. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Well, let's talk more about hip-hop. I got some questions about the hip-hop game. A lot of homophobia in hip-hop.
There is, you're right.
But yet they settled disputes with poetry. And they perform holding, gripping microphones, which is a very phallic symbol. They spit all over it.
Oh, you're saying a microphone's like a dick?
Well, yeah, it's very phallic. You know, they're sucking on the spliffs of the skunk.
Spliffs of dicks as well.
Yeah, it's all phallic, right? Isn't that a paradox?
Fucking chair legs are phallic. You're mad.
But it's true, right?
Yeah.
But you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to...
I think what you're trying to say
There's
is
a lot of
that-
stigma about hip-hop. I'm trying to explore, like misogyny in the hip-hop world.
Yeah.
But a lot of people don't appreciate that the broads that listen to hip-hop, they know that you're talking...
I find a direct correlation between misogyny and female fans in UK hip hop.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
I've never understood that, but
Because
it really
they-
does exist.
I think
Trust
it's
me, I have the
because-
stats.
They understand that it's entertainment, and they have the agency to appreciate that you're talking about a fictional fucking money-grubbing bitch.
Yeah, people like fictional smut,
Right.
and then you get kind of, in my opinion, thick people who miss the point and feel excluded and don't understand and therefore become righteous and angry about it. And I'm like, you wouldn't go to Torture Garden and start screaming at everyone, would you? So don't put on certain albums if... Do you know what I mean?
I don't understand because I've listened to some of your lyrics and I'm not going to bore you with your own lyrics, but some fantastic stuff. Your pussy looking like a bacon and cheese bap.
Catch Me If You Nah, which is about graffiti. You're a graffiti writer, right?
I have been.
I don't understand graffiti. I feel like it's a nuisance.
Mm-hmm.
Can you explain to our audience the appeal of writing something on a wall?
I think you have been taught that it's a nuisance. I think when you were...
Just affects property prices. In my
Yeah, that's true. But before you understood property prices, you wanted to write on the wall, no? Because it felt liberating and out the box and interesting. It freed you.
Right.
It opened your
It did,
mind.
maybe a little bit.
You scribbled on that
mean, I
wall,
like
and
some-
your mum smacked you around the head and said, "Don't do that." And you learnt to not write on the wall. You learnt to not express yourself.
Right.
You learnt to not put that message out in public. You keep that in your little book, and you shut the book, and that's just for you. That's fucking mental. To me, that is mental. The primary example of self-expression comes from that 2 to 3 year old you who decides, whoa, hang on, can I put that there? And other people might see it, and there's a reaction, whether that's a smack in the head or a bollocking. That's exciting shit, man. So the reason people get into graffiti is because it's fucking normal, and it has to be beaten out of you, actually.
Right.
And I think everyone does some graffiti at some point in their life.
I mean, I like there's a guy now who's writing the word anus around East London.
So exactly, these things.
But
are,
that might be
these
a queer
things-
kind of
these
beacon he
things
might be
are
offering
subjective, aren't they? I would
business.
rather see 110 foot tags across a bridge, all in a line, than one Banksy on a chip shop. That's just me, and I know a 1,000 other people who share the same mindset as me. Because you think about how he got there, where he got there, how did how did this person do this shit?
It's
With the
a lot of
Banksy
it,
thing, I
right?
know what you did. You made a stencil, you got it perfect, and you planned your little hit, and you did the thing, and that's great. But the where the problems come into play is that one is criminalized. One has to lose their freedom. One has to have their family disturbed. One has to have
People die.
their future affected. I don't think that should be looked at as a negative, man. I think respect to those people that died doing something they're passionate about, that they love. And if that's what happened, that's what fucking happened.
And why is there never a lot of good graffiti? Seems quite abstract to me. It's never sort of linear sentences.
What
and
is good graffiti?
Swearing,
There is no good
but
graffiti.
it seems to be bad graffiti as swearing in it.
There's a guy who's writing fuckface around London at the minute. And it looks like a 3-year-old did it with his left hand whilst shouting at his mum. And it is awful, and I love it. I keep seeing it everywhere, and I fucking love it. And I can't explain why. Art, it's subjective. I don't know why I like it. I don't know why I like Ice-T smacking women and shouting about pimping in the 80s, but I'll listen to that and enjoy it.
Oh, I thought you were making a list of stuff you like there. You like iced-tea and smacking women. I got a bit thrown by that for a second. I had to recalibrate.
I don't want to smack any women.
Right, and you don't like iced-tea as a drink? Or
I don't like Ice-T as a drink.
right,
no.
okay.
Heard it
Let's
here
just clarify that.
Where do you stand on puberty blockers?
Like, I knew I wanted a Spider-Man tattoo when I was 5. I still want it. But
you got
I
it?
would have been pissed off with my mum if she let me get it when I was 5.
I like these analogies here.
You know, I'd have been like, Mum, I want to be Spider-Man, because I fucking did. I had the pajamas and everything. Like, if you told me that I could have got a tattoo that turned me into Spider-Man, guess who I'd be right now? Full-blown Spider-Man.
Did you go through a phase as a 5-year-old where you wanted to chop off your own cock?
No. I was pretty I wasn't really bothered about my cock until about sort of 13, 14, I guess.
Fair enough.
Standard. What's your favourite genre of porn, James?
I like kind of just like normal heterosexual porn, but I like it to be like somewhere dirty, like in a mechanics or something.
Oh, right.
Like I'll watch a geezer fucking a bird in the mechanics with the greasy.
You're the guy that likes that shit, because I see a lot of that.
the greasy overalls and that.
Right.
Like I don't like it when it's too blushed or like furry and nice.
to feel natural.
So you don't like bedding
Bedding.
in the background? You want it to be a sort of working environment, tradespeople?
Could shove a bed in the mechanics. if
It may
you
be
want.
the geezer who runs the mechanic.
He's got a bed there
He runs the
because
car
he knows
shop.
what he's about to do that
That's
afternoon.
right. And he's a good-looking mechanic. Or he's got something about him.
Fucking
The
hideous.
birds come in for a
No,
repair.
he's a fucking. No, in fact, you don't even really know what he looks like. That's the thing with porn, isn't it? You're like, who was the geezer?
Right. It don't matter.
What rapper death affected you the most?
I think he died on my birthday.
AIDS.
I was a kid at school. Yeah,
AIDS?
AIDS. Didn't understand AIDS at that age.
Was
but
he a queer?
By the sounds of it, he was having sex with everything. So,
I think bisexuality, when it's rampant and scuzzy, don't seem gay, does it?
He
There's
just
certain
seems like
type
a
of
nutcase.
It's a sort of nut job, isn't it? He's having a good
He'd shag a
time.
hedgehog.
He don't give a fuck. Every hole's a goal. That's it.
Mine would be Scatman John.
Yeah.
Because I was a huge Scatman fan. I don't know if you know the history of Scatman John, but he grew up with a stutter, and he had to overcome it. He was tormented and bullied from an early age, and eventually found worldwide success with the hit "I'm a Scatman,"
I know it.
which he followed up with the huge worldwide smash "Scatman's World," and he passed away '99. And I was devastated. I was very devastated. The lyrics inspired me to the day. I mean, I'd like to share some with you, James.
Do you know him?
Everybody stutters one way or the other, so check out my message to you. As a matter of fact, don't let nothing hold you back. If the Scatman can do it, so can you. I'm the Scatman. But you know, no, it's quite disrespectful to Scatman. Rest in peace to John.
Disrespectful to fucking John Scat, I promise you.
John Larkin.
John Scat, whatever.
Rest in peace to John Larkin.
No, I'm just sad that he's not with us anymore.
Yeah, it was a tragedy.
Big news from Bad Boys Done Good.
That's right. Bad Boys Done Good is now live on Patreon.
That's right, live.
Sign up today. The website is below, and you're gonna get
Exclusive content, outtakes.
bloopers
A live show with Paul Sinner delivered right to your door now.
straight away, instantly.
You'll get all episodes coming up a day before everyone else.
Right. Not to mention early bird tickets for forthcoming live shows.
That's right. Plus, first refusal on exclusive merch drops.
You're gonna love this shit.
Absolutely.
Put your cock down and sign up today.
Thanks for your support.
We appreciate you. We like to start rumors on the show. Where do you stand on the rumor that Biggie Smalls was not murdered? He actually transitioned into Missy Elliott.
Yeah, I'm backing it.
You're a producer as well as a recording artist.
I am, yeah.
You produced for big stars such as Rag and Bone Man, who apparently is human, but he looks like some kind of Nordic giant. And you've also produced for Ocean Wisdom, who I've listened to his music. He sounds like a very dangerous individual affiliated with a lot of criminal gangs. What's it like producing for other people?
I really enjoy it. I actually prefer it to fucking doing rap stuff now. I like producing for other people. It's nice to put the light on someone else and use what you've learned on there.
Do you think you'll
Can't just
keep
deal
doing
with-
it till you're 50?
Nah, I don't think I will. Like the thirst goes, doesn't it? And if you get when you feel that tickle, it's like you're trying to do it, like not I need to do this kind of. Then fuck it. What's the point?
I mean, I think the problem is with what you do, there's so many fucking words. It's so dense. So many words in your raps.
Never
you
thought about
cover
that.
so much ground.
I've
I mean,
never
you
thought about
probably
that.
get through more ground in 6 albums than someone would in 40, 50 years.
Yeah.
Slowly doing songs.
Do you know what? It does actually feel a bit like that sometimes. It does. Yeah, I kind of get that. It's like you said so many things. At what point are you just repeating yourself?
I mean, have your lyrics changed since you've done time?
Well, I only started in prison, so my lyrics came from doing time. There was no.
But you were inside for 14 months.
Yeah, I was inside for 14 months.
What for?
Getting caught. All that.
Okay, so day one, what's it like? You excited? You scared?
Do you know what? Day one, you've been in court cells so long, travelling from one court to another in the van, and the anxiety of am I going to prison, am I not? And then bang, you're going to prison. They gave me 3 years as a 19-year-old.
Fuck.
And I knew that the high chances I will only serve 50% of that in custody. So I'll be out in 18 months. Maybe I can get tag after 14, which I did. But yeah, so the day one is just too much anxiety to really have a conscious thought about anything. You're just like, I'm going to fucking smack the first person who does whatever. And you're thinking unrealistically. And day one I was just relieved to get in my cell and put a tracksuit on.
Right. Okay. And did you prefer your drugs via drone or anally?
Drugs aren't as easy to get as the outside world thinks in a prison. Maybe it was just, I was in Glenparva in 2002, 2003. So like, maybe it was different then, I don't know. You could smoke in prison then. Things were a bit more borstal, you had to know someone if you wanted that shit. And also you were very aware that the minute you started investigating into that side of things, you were putting yourself in a bit of a vulnerable position.
So you stayed away.
I stayed the fuck out of trouble as much as I could.
Did you see any trouble?
Loads, yeah. You have to be in trouble. You're in prison. There's no way of avoiding it.
So what happened? You ever seen anybody get, hit with a snooker ball?
Absolutely, yeah. That happened quite a lot.
Nice. In a sock?
Yeah.
Good lad.
You did that in that film.
Good lad.
Scum.
Absolutely.
They shut it and deemed it inhumane about 12, 15 years ago because of the suicide rate in there.
And I guess you didn't want to go back there. It did the job on you.
No. It's funny, though, because when you come out, you kind of do everything. Getting out's harder than going in because you think life stays on pause, and then when you come out, your life's going to be waiting there for you, but it's not. People got into uni and travelled Thailand in that time while I was there. I was 19, so I came out when I was 21.
Right.
So it was
Formative years.
I mean, there's one of your music videos when you're coming out of jail. You get a lift outside, you go to the corner shop and nick something straight away.
We actually went back to Glenparva to do that video.
Right,
Yeah.
that's a sort of trope, is it, in rap? A video of you coming out of the can?
It was just a pinnacle transformation in my sort of life and the way my brain operated, and it was a real moving sort of experience for me. Like the release from prison was far more confusing than I could have ever imagined.
Paint a vivid
I ended up
picture.
writing a song about how that changed me.
I do wonder how I would survive in the can. For example, I struggled to urinate in front of other men.
You're going to have to get over that.
How would I get over that?
You don't have a choice, man.
But I can't do it.
You've got to do mandatory drug tests once a month. That's pissing in a little bottle
So they
in front
watch-
of a load of prison officers.
They observe me urinate because I would struggle with
We
that.
used to carry negative piss around with us.
To carry piss.
You used to buy negative piss off someone, so you want to get high on some drugs in the prison. You're going to be drug tested at any given moment in a young offenders institute, quick.
So I need
you used
to
to carry a medicine bottle of warm, another man's warm piss tied to your balls, because it was negative. So you would buy negative piss off people before you got high, and then when it came to being watched by 4 screws in a room,
Why do they need 4?
just in case
All
you
the
do
angles.
some mad shit. I don't
2
know.
on each bollock.
Exactly.
I mean, I've done some time, but only the odd night here and there, drunk and disorderly after the Carling Cup against Millwall. I pissed on the pot plants at Cane when we were there from Neil by Mouth. I'm very interested by prison life. Is it true that if a bird is there, she immediately becomes a 10 because you're so used to not seeing them around?
Little bit, yeah.
Any of the
Especially
prison
in the young
wardens?
offenders, 18 to 21-year-old males.
Oh.
You rarely see a female. And there was, you get the odd female officer who, it was quite confusing what she was doing working there because it's right on the surface.
Right.
It's an actual whole other job dealing with that. Walking
Right.
across a prison courtyard at 8 p.m. when everyone's in their cells shouting out the window at you and shit. I did used to think, wow, I know how much you get paid to work here. What the fuck?
Should
What's
they
in
only hire ugly broads?
It wouldn't make a difference. Primal instinct is primal instinct.
It
to the
just feels
prison.
like the Playboy Mansion,
Yes.
whatever the fuck.
Whatever the fuck's going on, man. You got to imagine 18 to 21-year-old boys haven't seen a woman for,
Are they allowed to whack off in there? Did you whack
You
off?
can't ban whacking off.
Right. But back to me. I want to know this. I'm a very light sleeper, okay? I require a padded eye mask sometimes, and I really enjoy my vibrating mattress topper. Would I be a source of ridicule in the can if I had something like that?
Yeah, I mean, depends how powerful. You might be all right, but
I
you
know
can
what,
just be any guy with that. You're getting, people are going to have to ask, I'm going to ask questions.
what
about
would they say? How do I avoid
Be
confrontation?
like, hey, what's that, bro?
I say it's my
give me
eye
that.
mask because I'm a light sleeper, and I'd appreciate if you keep the noise down as well. Would that cause an issue? I don't want any friction.
It depends how powerful you are.
I'm just a regular guy. I just want to,
Regular guy is going to get stabbed with a sharpened toothbrush in the morning.
they'll stab me for wearing an eye mask.
If you start telling other people to be quiet,
Do I have to assault one of them physically?
you might have to. Once you
Shanking
start
everybody.
sharpening and shanking and going down that route of threatening people, then you're in. And it's up
If you're
to
the daddy, you got to act the daddy every fucking day, not some days, not only the days where you feel like
It's not
the
like
daddy.
you can't just move away if you don't like someone. They're there. It's just
So did you encounter any toxic masculinity in jail?
quite a lot. Yeah, that's the way it works.
Any
You have to-
microaggressions?
You have to become part of it. You have to.
To survive.
Yeah, exactly.
Any microaggressions that you encountered?
There's no microaggressions. There's explicit aggression.
Right. That's a
There's
bit
like,
problematic.
do this or I'll do that, and you have to be like, no or yeah. I think once you begin the yes journey, again you're sending yourself down another path.
If
where,
you say yes to somebody,
yeah,
for
you
anything.
can't really, yeah.
What
It's
if
a
they
fine
just-
line.
What if they want to just be your friend? How do you know if you could trust somebody?
Don't do that. Just don't do. Why? Don't do that.
So
Don't do
if
any of
someone
that
came
shit.
up to you and said, "I want to be your friend,"
I'd just stay well away from them.
would you? Right. That's a bit creepy when someone says that. And I don't think I've ever become friends with someone who says, "Can I be your friend?" since I was about 3.
I made one friend in prison,
Oh yeah.
and that was a 9-month trust building exercise. But
Right.
even he's not really my friend.
Did you ever throw urine on a pedophile?
I pissed on a guy in the shower once.
Pissed on the guy.
I pissed on a guy in the
See,
shower.
I struggle to urinate, but you're proficient. You're pissing on. Was he a
man,
pedophile?
nudity and men, you're just in there. There's 6 showers in a room. You got to fight people naked. You got to piss on people.
What did he do? What had he done?
He
Piss?
did nothing. He was just
Just a bit of humour.
He just got pissed on and yeah. That's,
Is that more disrespectful than a stabbing to be urinated on? I feel like it
don't
would
to
be.
this day think he knew that we pissed on him.
Multiple pisses.
We're in a shower and like, there's 6 showers and shit. We're like 19-year-old boys, and one geezer was like, "Hey, look," hey, and pissed all over this new guy's back, and then everyone else pissed on him, and it was it's really fucking weird bully tactic to be
it's
fair.
very amusing. I like that.
Very amusing.
So prison's a sex-positive place. With
yeah.
It's
It's
good.
everything's fine in prison.
All the spoken word poets in the world, or all the beatboxers in the world, they'll get invited to a global summit in a warehouse, and then Israel gets tipped off and told that there's Hamas
Right.
in that summit, and they're going to get done. Which one is it? Spoken word or beatboxers?
I
Taken out en masse.
Yeah, nice.
think we're gonna kill the spoken word community.
Yeah, good
they're
choice.
They're all gonna die. Yeah,
Those beatboxers, they're harmless. They don't mean
they're
any
all
harm.
right. They're just
But the spoken word
boots and
people, they're
cats in.
fucking
Spoken word, they're
evil.
actually creating ripples in stupid people's minds that are having effects on minor things. So like, let's
Right.
just
You know, they
Real
do
world
that.
consequences.
let's get rid of that as quick as possible.
Good
Yeah.
shout. You got 82,000 followers on Instagram. Does that sort of stuff bother you?
Nah.
Fred West unofficial has 83,000. You're being outgunned by Fred West.
It's not a competition though, is it? Like, I don't want Fred West's followers.
I doubt there's much overlap.
Nah.
Should we do some quick fire?
Sure.
A prison filled with Rolf Harris inmates only, or staffed fully by R. Kellys. Where would you go?
Rolf Harris inmates, I'd stand a better chance.
You could
of
piss on them
survival
all.
there. I could piss my way out of that shit.
Nonsense. Castrate or execute. Top bunk or bottom bunk.
Top bunk, but I'm not going to fight you over it.
Okay. Husband or wife. In the can.
Oh, in the can. Am I the husband or am I the wife?
You get to choose.
I'll go husband, I guess.
Yeah, nice choice. Dominant. You got any, Ray?
What's gayer, getting a gobble off a trans woman or a hand job off Julian Clary?
I think a hand job off Julian Clary might be gayer.
Yeah, because it's a geezer. A trans woman's a woman.
Yeah.
Well done. You passed.
Okay, it was a test. Okay.
Do an impression of someone who don't like you doing an impression of you.
No.
Rate these rappers out of 10. Jan Baxter,
10.
Flip Tricks,
10.
Rizzle Kicks,
10.
Rag and Bone Man,
10.
John Barnes,
10.
Professor Green,
2.
Plan B,
2.
Goldie Looking Chain,
2.
Jamie T,
2.
Puff Daddy.
2.
Okay. Who killed Jill Dando?
Dunno.
I think she's still alive. I think she transitioned and all. Came back as Claire Balding.
Oh, yeah.
One of the new career angle.
I've just never had a thought about that.
Oh. Well, we asked the big questions here.
Selling out is a big thing in rap. But let's just imagine you're skint. Would you sell out for these? 100K to let Felix Pet Food use Return of the Twat and change it to Return of the Cat.
Yeah. Fuck it. I'd do that. I'd just do that anyway.
You do it anyway.
Yeah, I'm up for that shit.
Playing a version of yourself in Hollyoaks.
No, I'm not doing that.
Okay.
Not doing that.
A Christmas duet with Philip Schofield, self-funded by him, where you cover Kasabian's Shoot a Runner for 250k cash.
Absolutely.
And an Xbox for your son.
No.
250k and an Xbox.
No.
Interesting. 50k to do a Pancake Day duet with Jamie T. All about pancakes.
Yes, I'll do that shit. Fuck it, I'll do
He's
that.
going to agree to anything. Like he's very squirmy. He needs to urinate.
I need a piss badly.
Keep up the great work. Go and urinate in the bathroom. George! Hey, Georgie! Show him the way the fucking bathroom is.